It's a million and June 10, 5:59. Just saw a video about you know, that confirmed to me when I pray, God, where's this George Floyd soul doing after life? And I was in a moment in my life that with my private revelation, I was starting to ask personal things a bit anywhere, testing also. So I give me Elvis, but I was asking for another person. I guess maybe that other person would have make me too sad, or I knew the other persons like Bobby Fischer or Jim Morrison, and I think he would have still today. I would have until I die. If I would have think about it, would have made me sad, right? Because these people, they might not be saved, but they had good heart, but choose the wrong way. You know, they had blessings, and God knows. So he went to Elvis and showed me that he had a hand above, just one hand on the left, above ground, and he has the concept of Jesus in him is gone. No more Jesus. He's no more king. He taught himself about the king, and those two songs that he did it. So it's not to mock God and take what he shows and then transform it to songs of women and stuff. And now somebody put a video about the George Floyd life, Associated Press or something, and that confirms me that what I saw, that he's in the project and he was in front of his daughter, and there was this vibe of killings. And then I see a house like a townhouse. Just that confirms to me. I didn't know that up to this day, and I put that, what, it's 5 days now or more. And on the right side there was a woman, a big woman, might be his ex-wife who had a kid, or his ex-girlfriend, I don't know his personal life at all. That was the most personal here in 30 seconds. And that they were saying it was in the projects and stuff. And a kid, not a kid, a man on the left of that woman, so closer to Floyd, the other side still, the right side, like this, you know, mad. So I don't know. They say, I just see that he was arrested, did sometimes for aggravated robbery. When I saw him, I saw the killer. So he might have done this, or aggravated assault, something that killed somebody, or he tried to kill, so he was accountable. But at the same time, it could have been the air. I always said that, because after I see him, I said, like, when I saw him, that the hairy feeling of killing. But it was more a knowledge than an hairy feeling, meaning that if this is his fate, and always going back, if anybody that hope the best for him, the good thing is that he's not in the darkness fire. He's not in a pitch black darkness. He's like in a night. But yesterday I was night, and imagine yourself, I told myself, living all the time there. That's not nice. People will become even aggressive. But when he does it, I think he relieves always the same thing. Or, let me finish, or he has like a life like he had, because I saw 5 frames, 1, 2, 3, kind of more frames, 1, 2, 3, 4, and his life was cut short. And at the end, when I saw it, came back and it cut short. So I don't know if it's like a video game, sincerely, that like Mario Bros, he can be dead if he doesn't protect or reach the princess, like Donkey Kong or Mario Bros or whatever. I believe, and God showed me the second one. I woke up, I'm like, whoa. The second one, I was like this, like kind of a winner. I was expecting something like Christmas, and it was a nice feeling, but only lasted 2-3 seconds. And kind of a hand, a visible hand, the right one deposit a leaf ground like this, but fresh. So it's not disgusting, it's not dead leaves which carry bugs or anything. It was fresh, but that was it. Well, I remember I had a little smile. So at least if that's his eternity, he has a refreshment of receiving something for 2-3 seconds, even though it's not bad. But I'm telling you, people, I'm not saying this to laugh about him, because God knows if I'm gonna be not better or worse. This is a gift. It's a gift of the Holy Spirit prophecy. I ask, and God give it to me. Okay, so that was it. God told me that Nostradamus is in hell. He was a prophet. He's in hell, and he told me because he did whatever he wanted. That's it. He was not preaching. He was not maybe teaching. To what extent? He wrote his books. He did some books about even perfume. He married. He did what he wanted, and that's the problem. A gift is a gift, and that's it. You grew up in the project. You don't. You're rich or poor, but what do you have to do with what you have? So, give me a break here, because today it's my day off. But I saw another lie of the devil, because one of his friends said, who would know a guy from the project changed the world? This word's gonna pass. This word's gonna pass. And even in this world, he didn't change the world to an extent of, let me express this. If it wasn't about him, it would have been somebody else. Remember when Jesus said, do you think that those people that opened the hurt and they were swollen, they were worse than others? He said, no. Everybody is warned. But sometimes the anger of God, it's enough. Sometimes we push it too much on one side, we fall as a group. And it's like a group of 10 people who the devil will say, listen, you're gonna party tonight like you never party. You're gonna be happy party, but out of the 10 people, one's gonna fall down. Do you accept? And let's say all these people, like a society, says, yes, we accept. And they go and they're all guilty the same. It's not even for God. They went there. To that extent, Jesus said, don't think they're more guilty. So after this, I thought I was done. And God showed me one time when I went years ago with my chronic pain. There's no excuse to not follow God, because God apparently heals everything. I didn't follow God. And then I was about my life and working. Started to be a painter, working even sick, like 2-3 guys. And then I go and I call a woman up and came in my 2-bedroom loft. And now I live in nowhere, and I go there paying two grand a year, 1,900. So she comes here. I quit with my girlfriend. She was too much trouble. I was not doing drugs. She did, anyways. Try to help her from abuse. So don't tell me I don't know all these stuff as being an artist that was not gay. So I was struggling and I didn't accept, and I was hiding my work for. Anyway, so this guy. I go down in this convenience store like I publish, and this woman was about, with the money I was giving to her to party, she was buying some crack cocaine. I was not. I never tried back then, I think. Or I tried one time recently. After that, after I went to a scuffle with my ex, she was hitting me when I hit back. Her mom called. I go there, so I went out. I wanted to chill with her, so okay, you know. But let's try this if it's gonna work, but not as a drug, just like to share something at least with her more. But anyways, and she's like, yeah, it's like, the other drug was even, anyways, didn't last, didn't work, it was one-time thing. So this girl went to buy, and I remember I didn't do it, but I saw myself in that dream the same night as Floyd going, and I heard, don't go. And this, when I heard it from above, it's the voice of God. Sometimes it's people saying, and that's something I have to, but when it's a voice of God from above, that's clear. It's God telling me don't go. And as I was going the few steps, 5-6 steps to go in that convenience store. So God told us in the books, in the Bible, in the Holy Scriptures, don't go with those women, it's dead. And I believe, and that served me even as a warning for the days after that. I do believe that unfortunately that was his downfall to him. And I didn't say too much clearly in the first 4 videos about this, but I will add this. That's what his thing. He knew more God than other people who don't know Jesus. He had the upgrade. He knew that God was a no-no, but he still went there. At a certain point, man, excuses are excuses, man. They say his mom died in 2018, man. This is sad. I mean, when somebody like this died, it's a wake up to reality, man, because my mom almost died when I went to Vancouver. I didn't say, I won't talk about this, but God takes when your mom dies and touch you in your heart all the time instead of down there. So you see, he called his mom, and I just learned his mom died. So he was calling his mom from above when the police have a need. You see, he changed the world. Is it the police officer in that same group that is all guilty that I just spoke before as an example, changed the world himself, but from the bad thing, because he needed 2 persons for that? Think about it. I'm just saying that the devil was in both, and at that moment was probably more, maybe in one person than more, and the one who threw the blow, but we don't know if the other one, if I had the power, didn't. The point of fact is that it would have happened in this world, whatever it was him or not him. His life and his way of life brought the timing that he was there for that. Like in the Invisible War, I believe it's like a collision. Like one guy like this over there, he was short fuse for maybe as a police officer, and maybe or not the other race, and the other guy that played with fire or so, going around and fake 20 and girls that he should know better, both were playing, and boom, collision, it happens. It's not about his name, George Floyd. What's his name, George Floyd? If his name was Pakiliko Chica, you think you were in the street, what's his name? Pakiliko Chica. No, man. It's just because it sounds like a movie star. George Floyd. But I'm saying nothing against the guy. And even at the beginning, God told me, don't do it. It's going to follow you. He told me. So, hey, my teachings are seemingly very hard because the world doesn't follow God. If you think I would have said things only to please everybody that sees videos, I could have say so, but I'm not a liar. You see, Jesus didn't got except for the thing in the Sabbath when he healed, didn't got killed or put to death, the final sentence for that, but for his teachings. When he was saying how can be saved about the rich, and are you the son? Yes, and you will see, and that was the final point. The devil, this world doesn't follow God, so don't expect somebody that's talking about God and how people should follow him to please people, but only the people that are seeking God and actually are not comfortable in this world. This morning I went to Facebook and somebody requested my friendship. I don't hang out in Facebook. I lost the last account that was, and there was nothing. There's nothing. And this man, he was immediately responding, I wants to befriend you. So I'm like, I look at his thing, there's nothing except painting of a black Jesus and stuff. So he says, or not really black Jesus. He says, hey, I saw your videos online. I say hi. I say, what do you want? Right? He just said hi. So what do you want? Nothing was negative because I'm following God. What do you want? And he says, hey, I saw your videos, I think it's interesting. Just said interesting. He said, like if you want to be friends on Facebook. So what do you want me to do with this? So what did I told him? I was thinking for a short moment. I said to him, I only friend people that I know or I would work online with. And I mean for anything working, you know what I'm saying? Because then what's the point? And just before that, as a joke, I said, what's your political standpoint? But I put LOL, I was just kidding. And he said, well, Trump said he built America, but that was a joke I was doing. And he said, it doesn't work really much. So I said, listen, I said to him what I said. I only work with this and this. And he says, and he took it negatively. He kind of said, I can't remember what he said. He said, well, I was just saying that, and I could read the devil between the lines. So I said, and that's why I said thanks. He didn't got it. I said thanks and thanks, bye. He says, you ugly, blah blah blah, immediately, and put two little emoji with two horns. I'm like, that's how it is, so don't expect when you ask for famous people or anybody, even bad in this world, hey, can I be your friend? Well, no. What this guy wanted, what to him, I block him everywhere, block him on YouTube, block him anywhere. What would he want me to do that can help me for Jesus, my mission, or him? Like, if at least the guy would have said, hey, man, do you have any money or something? Uh, that's something else. Or I didn't thought this at that time, or like, I think you're interesting. Okay, thanks. And then what? Let's not lose time. What do you want? What can you do for me, or what can I do for you? And my political stance is Jesus Christ, the Catholic Church, and the real one, not the one that with Pope Benedict, not this one. But this was a joke, so I was not even thinking about that at that time. So what's the thing here? So this teaching with the Holy Spirit, don't expect me to please people and be sugar coated like some evangelists do it, and nobody hates them. They say you'll be saved, don't worry, and all this, and give money, and they have millions. They have already what they got. Jesus said. Jesus was hated with his teachings because they came from God. The world is not following God, so don't expect me to lie or to please every ears, and to be so called like Trudeau or anybody in Canada that says, oh, that was not friendly, and try to be friendly. People who sell their soul, they know to kiss ass to anybody and try to be friendly with anybody for nothing. They have nothing, so they try to be friend, so people like them, so they get something. But it's also selfishness all the time. It's always like, who gets something out of these people, and they're very selfish. These kind of people, if it was meant for them to get $1 billion and and let their country fall into the enemy, uh, if they could, these type of people, almost they would. This is kind of those people that are there for self game and not for what they really tell about, whatever it be, like protection of their country and religion or beliefs. And they're like moles, man. They're like strangers, or the church for Jesus. They're always gonna be until Jesus comes, and that's how it is. So now, no, George Floyd is not in heaven. um, I don't call what he is, you know hellfire at all, not fire. At least if it's a light, it's like he's living now. I don't know if he's gonna be born and go to a last judgment. It's like sleeping. I think he doesn't even know that he's reliving every time God makes him back living, like he doesn't know. And he's living scenes like he was living in life, protecting his daughter, and in a kind of darkness, moving like at night, hookers. And he finished the line. He gets a little crown, which is happiness, a little bit for 2-3 seconds, and I think he starts the whole thing over. He's not petrified with the killer around people where he was living, like in the project, that was looking in anger to him, like envious or whatever. So that's good. I died once and I was in outer darkness, which was pitch black. The apartment was empty. Much worse. I was alone. I laughed. I didn't. I cry and I heard a laughing. I thought, oh, somebody else that died. God happened the same, and now he hears that another guy comes and he's crying. So I'm like, let's go and talk to this guy, because it's sad being alone, and especially in that place. What's happening. As I walk out, was pitch black darkness. Now I think it was a devil, or maybe another death like this. And went out, was pitch black. I put my hand. I received a big clock, 11 o'clock. I changed my life. I was in jail at that time for fight defending myself. in isolation, and that's not important. And I went out and I did change my life. Work 2 years for God. I was about to go in art school. I canceled that. I had suits. I canceled that. I throw them out like for religious life, and that's how it is, man. You know, can't believe it, man. I did a video. I didn't upload it yesterday. Dreams are getting slow, and guess what? I just seen the feeds like news where Sunday 11. Last night I did that video about another video about what I'm thinking and revelation where this man is in a state of soul after life, Floyd, and I was a pill at people saying he changed the world, but it's the situation, and I'm trying to put people the activity of the devil behind all this and the danger of thinking that you're above time while the devil is playing tricks and is just manipulating, and actually would have destroyed long time ago this earth if God wouldn't have stopped it. But one time God is gonna let it go, is gonna be fed up, so to speak. Somebody says in that fit that Chauvin and Floyd bump heads into the past, and unfortunately for me, what I was saying as an example, that it would have happened if it was not him, so he didn't change the world, and both lives and collided. Why? One was racist, the other played with fire, so to speak, maybe to fake $20 bill, and boom, he knew better. And he's not a saint, and he's not in heaven. And the point is, he's not in big fire hell. He's not in hell. So this, well, he's, as far as I know, is the lightest hell I've seen so far. One time I died, I was in a pitch black darkness. It was not fun. My outside was dark. Inside it was just like 10% light. This one was a bit like sepia light, but outside, and he's still living the same life. But he's not petrified of people killing around him. He's protecting his daughters, doing the same thing. Now this guy, apparently I haven't read the thing, he says that they bump head in the past. Somebody that worked with both. Hey. And I said unfortunately for me because it was, I just saw it today, but it was uploaded yesterday and a couple hours before me, or a few hours before I did my video.